All hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment.
The government of Finland, together with the Päijät-Häme District Court, has outrightly insulted Mr. Simon, who happens to be the leader of the USB movement. Yes, the government of Finland has insulted Simon. So the question here is, how did the court of law situated in Finland and the government of Finland throw shades at Mr. Simon, a man held in Kilamäkoski Correctional Center? Well, a couple of days back, we made a briefing and we made a video stating categorically that the court of law in Finland has granted Mr. Simon a tentative bail, meaning that the court of law in Finland has granted Simon bail, a possible bail that will take effect this week. But as we speak, things has changed. The government of Finland, together with the Päijät-Häme District Court, came out yesterday and informed Mr. Simon's lawyer, his new lawyer in the person of Carl Gumeres, that if he wants his client, that is, if he wants Simon to receive a full bail, Mr. Simon needs to fulfill some bail conditions. And in this video, I shall be discussing and exposing the bail conditions enlisted by the government of Finland, so you can see how insults and shades were thrown at Simon. Yes. So let's kick off this video starting with the very first bail condition that Simon must meet before he can gain or receive a tentative bail. Yes, and some of the conditions enlisted by the government of Finland are highly insultive in nature. So let's take a look at these conditions one after the other. The very first one is that Simon must sign a document stating categorically that he is not going to use his social media platform. Yes, that Mr. Simon shouldn't use any social media platform on his devices to post any content, to react to any content, to like any content or whatsoever. Yes, that if Mr. Simon wants to receive a full bail, that he should sign a document stating that he will not use his social media platform in any way, shape or form. Yes, this very first bail condition is actually fair. It's not insultive in nature, and we all understand why the court of law would want Simon to sign a document stating that he's not going to use his social media platform to post, react, like, or comment on any particular activity on the net. Yes, because sometime last month, the former lawyer representing Mr. Simon in the court of law in the person of Ika Kopra submitted a file asking the Päijät-Häme District Court to grant his client, Mr. Simon, bail. But the court came out and made a statement that if they grant Mr. Simon bail, he might somehow, some way, twat or ridicule the ongoing investigation by reaching out to other suspects or posting something on his social media platform. So we understand this very first requirement. But the second one, it's something that is highly insultive in nature. Yes. What is the second requirement or the second demand made by the Finnish authorities? Well, take a look at this. Mr. Simon was instructed through his lawyer that if he wants a bail and a tentative bail, that he must come out and make a public address using a Finnish media. Yes, Mr. Simon must come out using a Finnish press, a Finnish media, and make a particular statement and a particular publication. So the question here is, what is that particular publication? Well, take a look at this. Simon must come out and talk or preach about one Nigeria. Yes, if Mr. Simon wants to receive full bail, he must come out on a live TV channel in Finland or a media house or outlet in Finland and preach and push the message of one Nigeria and unity in that press or that TV channel. Yes, this came as a shocker because nobody was expecting this particular requirement coming from the Finnish government. This feels and sounds like something the Nigerian government would have told the Finnish government to tell Mr. Simon to do before he will be granted bail. This doesn't make sense. You can't force somebody that doesn't want to talk about a particular topic. You can't force him to come on air on the live TV and preach about one Nigeria and how he wants to start supporting the one Nigeria movement. This feels like an insult to the whole of the USB citizens and his supporters, because this doesn't make sense in any way, shape or form. You can't tell somebody to come out on a live TV channel and talk about a topic he has no interest in. So as you can see, this is the second requirement made by the Finnish authorities that Mr. Simon must meet. And that is not even all. Let's take a look at the third requirement. Well, this third one is about the sit-at-home in the southeastern region of Nigeria. The government of Finland are asking Mr. Simon to come on air and call off any form of sit-at-home in the southeast region. Yes, Mr. Simon, still using a media outlet in Finland, will come on air and publicly call off all forms of sit at home in any way, shape, or form in all ramifications in the southeastern region of Nigeria. This happens to be a very serious one, but I think this is not actually too serious when you look at it from a different point of view. This is something Simon can do. He can actually call off the sit at home in the southeastern region of Nigeria, because that particular sit at home and that particular civil disobedience has affected the economy of the southeastern region of Nigeria immensely, and we need to call off this particular sit at home. And this is something Simon can do. Yes, it's something he can do, unlike coming out on air and saying that he wants one Nigeria, he wants unity, he wants full cooperation in Nigeria and whatsoever. That's a topic Simon has no interest in. Moving on swiftly, let's take a look at the fourth requirement needed by the Päijät-Häme District Court and the government of Finland. Yes, the fourth requirement is that Simon will occasionally visit and report himself to a closest police station domiciled in Suomi, Lahti. Yes, this is actually very, very simple. That Simon must sign a document that states categorically that if he gets bail, he must report to a police station very, very close to his locality or very close to his home, which is actually something that I think he can do. He can actually report himself to a police station and sign every time he visits there. So what is the fifth requirement? Well, the fifth one here is travel restrictions. Yes, the government of Finland told Simon that if you want to receive bail, we are going to take your passport. Yes, we'll take your Finnish passport, we'll keep it in our custody, and you won't be able to travel or leave the country at your own will. You won't be able to leave Suomi, Lahti. You must stay within Lahti and always report yourself to a police station nearest to him. This is coming from the government of Finland, and we are just only analyzing the reportage we've received. Yes, but then what do we think about this whole requirement and listing? Well, some of the requirements actually make sense, like the one he has to report to the police station, the parts where his travel documents will be seized and kept in the Finnish custody. It makes total sense and absolute sense. But the parts where they said he has to talk about one Nigeria, he have to come on air on a live broadcast and tell the region, the southeastern region of Nigeria, that he, Simon, the leader of the USB movement, doesn't want the USB to exist anymore, but instead they should all collapse their structure and support the existing union. Well, this is highly insultive in nature, because you can't tell a man what to do. You can't condition a man's mindset to do something that he doesn't want to do at that particular point in time. You can't tell a man to come on air on a live TV and make statements contradictory to his own belief. Yes. So it's actually simple. If you want to grant this man bail, grant him an outright bail. And all these requirements of coming out on air and making statements that he doesn't believe in, it's not necessary at this point in time. This smells and feels like the government of Nigeria has somehow, some way, they have their hands in this particular listing made by the Finnish authorities and the Finnish government. Anyways, moving on swiftly, something happened a couple of days back that got the attention of the sitting president of the most powerful nation of the world. Yes, the president of the USA has done something, and he has signed and approved a particular body domiciled in the USB government. Yes, the president of the USA has approved a particular body, and the question here is, what is this body and what is this organization? Well, just in case you don't know, the USB Liberation Army has officially been recognized by the president of the most powerful nation of the world. And in our